Welcome to video 6 in this playlist series where I'm talking to you all through A to Z about brand deals. I'm Ashley, your pet content creator coach. In this video specifically, I'm going to be teaching you about how to talk to brands, when and where to talk to brands, and how to finally get those brand deals successfully without being spammy or scammy. Now, the first question I always get is email better or is direct messaging better? And that's a great question. I have done both, but I always recommend email. And there are a few reasons why. With email, you have a good trail of your conversation. I have not only seen this literally recently, but I've experienced this myself, where a brand, you can communicate with them through direct message. Maybe they don't pay you, or maybe they don't send the product, or they just ghost you. And then they can delete messages. On email, you have your thread, you have your train of communication. So that's really important to consider. Whenever a brand reaches out through direct message for me, I say, hey, I love this idea of a collaboration for your campaign. Can you go ahead and continue this conversation through email? I will be looking for your email within the next 24 hours. Thanks. And it almost always works. If they don't email me, then I am not going to pursue that. And you may say, that's a little bit harsh, but in reality, if a brand really wants to collaborate with me and they're not just sending out 50 messages to random cat creators that they're seeking out for, then I know that they're legitimate. I know that they care and they really want this opportunity to be a thing. You can reach out through DMs. I almost always reach out through emails. Emails is where I do almost every single communication because for me, with DMs, I get too many spammy, scammy DMs. And so it just makes it hard for me to communicate with a legitimate brand that I may be doing hundreds of dollars of a brand deal. I just think email is the best thing to do. Now, when it comes to talking to a brand, you have to consider that you are selling your value to a brand. What does a brand want? It's not just about you wanting to make hundreds of dollars. Okay, but what a brand wants is they want to increase brand awareness. They want increased clicks. They want people to learn more about their brand and they want to make money. Okay, so when you're crafting your message to them and you're pitching to them why they should work with you, you need to keep that as number one. You have to keep in mind that they want to be able to have increased brand awareness and increased money. Okay, so when you're writing, let's say that you're like, hey, I love your product. I know it's going to resonate really well with my audience. I have a really great feeling that my audience is going to take a particular interest in your specific product because of this other video that I posted. My engagement's really high, right? It's all about brand awareness and about driving revenue sales. When you write out to a brand, something you have to consider is keeping it very concise using all the hit point keywords like driving revenue sales, high engagement, high comments, just the things that a brand cares about. They don't care about the fact that you have 10 videos that reached 1 million views. They're not going to click through your 5 links of different video examples. You have things to do. And so when you're pitching yourself, it needs to be quick and concise. And that is why I talk to you through your media kit is your portfolio. You can say something like, hey, I'm very interested in joining your next campaign. Can you provide me details or the contact information for the individual who is in charge of your marketing or in charge of your campaigns? You can find my media kit attached below. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to collaborating with you. So that was just a few sentences. And so you don't have to talk about your engagement rates. You don't have to talk about your followers. Just say it's in my portfolio, in my media kit attached on this email. And it's not as easy to be able to do that through direct messages. What I also really encourage you to do is include a very specific call to action. So we've talked about call to actions a little bit before. And what I want you to consider is saying something such as, is there a time that we can talk about this or hop on a 10-minute call to talk about this? Or can you provide me the contact info for the individual who manages your collaborations? Or is there a list that I can be part of to be in consideration for a future collaboration? Things like that where it almost requires them to be able to respond to you rather than it be, are you interested in collaborating with me? No, it's you trying to provide value and make it as easy as possible for a brand. Now, down in the description, you're going to find the book that all this is based off of. It is the ultimate guide, essentially, for brand deals. It is what all this is based off of. And I encourage you to go look at those templates that I literally have sent myself and received myself from brands so that you can get a better understanding of, in real life, how this actually works. Because in the next video, we're talking about how to avoid those spammy and scammy people and brands who only want to take advantage of you. And yes, it is real. It is very real. So let's talk about that in the next video.